dim light of pre-dawn, a boat is moving quietly on the Gulf of Thailand's calm waters. Suddenly, heavy bags splashed into the sea, sinking slowly. What's inside these bags, and by whom? As a Thai Navy patrol boat shines its light, catching a glimpse of a shadowy vessel, but in mere seconds, it's gone, disappearing into the darkness. The following day, a sinister discovery on the pristine beaches of Thailand shocks the locals. 2 bags of crystal meth, also known as ice, washed ashore, clear evidence of illegal trade. But this isn't just about illegal drugs. It's the beginning of a man's fall into the underworld, a world where every choice can be fatal. A man deeply entangled in a dangerous world. His name, Wayne Schneider, a high-ranking member of the Hells Angels. This is a story of what lies beneath the sands of these peaceful shores, where secrets of the drug trade can tip the balance between life and death. Who were the key players in this high-stakes game? And how did they manage to escape the relentless clutches of Thai law enforcement? This is a story of a web of crime and conspiracy in a land where even a single involvement with the drug underworld could cost you your life. Who murdered a Hells Angel member in Thailand? From Sydney's dark alleys to Pattaya's neon streets, Wayne Schneider's life was a whirlwind of danger. At 31, Schneider was more than just a high-ranking Hells Angel. He was a key figure in Sydney's underworld, and his notoriety caught up with him. After the Australian police discovered 2 meth labs linked directly to him, Schneider found himself in trouble with the law in Australia. In 2012, desperate for a fresh start and an escape from dangers at home, Schneider packed his bags for Thailand. But you know, sometimes our past follows us, no matter how far we go. And in the flashy nightlife of Pattaya, waiting just beneath the surface, was a world Schneider could not escape. Here's where Antonio Bagnato comes into the picture. Known in the fighting world as Tony Bang, this 26-year-old Muay Thai fighter wasn't just someone with a powerful right hook. He had a history, a past that linked him right back to the streets of Australia. Just 2 days after the murder of Bradley Dillon in 2014, Australian police wanted Bagnato for the murder connection, but he had left Australia. Later, it would be his cousin, Diego Carbone, who would face conviction for that crime. Like Schneider, Bagnato sought escape in Thailand, but his past followed. He didn't stay low. Bagnato plunged into Thailand's fighting world and was deeply involved in the mysterious St. Michael Fight Club from Australia. By late 2015, Schneider, who had been soaking up the Thai sun for about 3 years, found himself crossing paths with Bagnato. Their shared Australian roots became the foundation of a growing connection, one that ventured beyond casual friendship. The two were often seen socialising together and were rumoured to be involved in deals that were less than legal. A partnership that blended the worlds of biker gangs and fight clubs. As our story unfolds, we encounter another Australian, Luke Cook. Like so many others attracted to the intoxicating appeal of Thailand, Cook owned a bar in Pattaya. Just above its floors, Bagnato rented a room. The bar, unbeknownst to many, whispered rumours of the St. Michael Fight Club from Sydney. One might wonder if Cook, as he poured drinks and entertained guests, ever regretted his connections or thought about a quieter life away from it all. Meet Tyler Gerard, a 21-year-old American in Thailand. He came looking for adventure, but Pattaya's bright streetlights hid dangers he didn't expect. How did a young guy like Gerard get mixed up in some serious crime so far from home? People said Gerard wasn't in Pattaya just for fun. He was often seen with known figures like Bagnato, and in places not many knew about. Behind his young face, Gerard had some secrets. Gerard became more and more tied to Schneider and Bagnato's stories. What did Gerard do to get in so deep? In the flashing lights of Pattaya's nightlife, Wayne Schneider, a top Hells Angel from Australia, encountered dangers that would change his life forever. In December 2017, 2 years after the meth discovery on the shore of Thailand, A chilling scene appeared, a body in a shallow grave. Who was responsible? And how did this relate to the underworld of Pattaya? From bags of crystal meth washing ashore to a cold-blooded murder, there seemed to be a connection, and that connection begins with the night of Wayne Schneider's abduction. In a quiet neighborhood, the night was broken by scuffling and shouting. Allegedly silhouetted figures could be seen, hinting at Bagnato, Gerard, and two others dragging an individual. The roar of an engine breaks as a black pickup truck speeds away. After the identification of the body, it was identified as Schneider. Thai police, arriving later, discovered CCTV footage of the abduction. They also located the pickup truck and found blood inside, later confirmed with DNA to be Schneider's. The central question now is, who would want Schneider harmed, and why? As weeks turned into months, the Thai police believed they had found a link between the meth discovery and Wayne Schneider, focusing on an Australian offshore worker, Luke Cook, and his Thai wife. The couple soon found themselves at the centre of a Thai police raid that uncovered staggering wealth. Their assets included luxurious condos, a fleet of high-end vehicles, sleek motorbikes, firearms, and a sizable amount of cash, all amounting to an approximate 30 million baht or $1 million. Among these items was Cook's yacht named Jomandi, which, according to police allegations, played a key role in the drug conspiracy. It was alleged that the 500 kilograms of drugs, with an estimated value of $300 million, were discarded into the Gulf of Thailand from this very yacht. However, in a turn of events, Cook's father publicly declared his son's innocence on Australia's TV news network.
His father maintains he was framed.
My son is not guilty of the charges he's been charged with.
He passionately denied any connection between his son and the Hells Angels, painting him as a legitimate businessman. Cook's father called Australia's Foreign Minister and Attorney General for help. He said that his son was brought to the Thai court without warning, and the judgment was read out. The father said his son was not provided with support from the embassy, translators, or legal representation while he was in court. It's important to point out that the way Thai courts work in Thailand is very different from how they work in the West. As one story unfolds, another appears. Gerard, found near the Cambodian border, allegedly confessed to his role in Schneider's abduction, but initially denied any part in his death. As pressure mounted, Gerard's narrative changed, allegedly implicating himself, Antonio Bagnato, and two others in the crime. Bagnato, already fleeing a 2014 murder charge in Sydney, becomes a global fugitive. Wanted in 2 countries, he makes a desperate run again, only to be caught by Cambodian authorities and returned to Thailand. According to the local police, in early 2015, Cook received $10 million USD from Schneider, believed to be for the drug transaction. This money was intended to acquire 500 kilograms of crystal meth. But things didn't go as planned, said the police. The meth, supposed to arrive in Thailand, never did. This non-arrival set off a chain of events leading to Schneider's demand for his money and the subsequent tragic fallout. A year after their arrests, in November 2018, the Thai court dropped the hammer of justice. Cook and his wife were both sentenced to death. Bagnato stood trial in a Thai court and was convicted for his role in Schneider's murder. He was sentenced to death at Bangkok prison, notoriously known as the Bangkok Hilton. A Thai court receives evidence suggesting that Bagnato had commissioned 4 men to abduct and kill Schneider in 2015. Further documents hint at Bagnato's intent to establish an overseas chapter of the St. Michael Fight Club and suggest that Schneider's murder could have been rooted in a drug-related dispute. Gerard served a lesser sentence because of his cooperation with the investigation, but learned that prosecutors were appealing his sentence, and he too faced the death penalty. In this story of a web of crime and conspiracy in Pattaya's seedy underbelly, one is reminded of the deadly consequences of playing high-stakes games in the world of crime. But the remaining question remains. Was justice served, or are there still more shadows lurking in Pattaya's streets? The defendants were initially found guilty and sentenced to death by the lower court. Their appeals were subsequently denied by the Thai Court of Appeal in February 2020. Facing a grim future, they turned their hopes towards the Thai Supreme Court. Should the Thai Supreme Court decline their appeal, their final hope lies in a royal pardon. Even so, their death sentence would be overturned to life in prison. Reports suggest several of Cook's associates may have helped the police with key information for his arrest. One such associate was Douglas Shoebridge, an Australian offshore worker originally from Scotland, known by the alias Big Daddy. Shoebridge's testimony was vital. He was once a volunteer police officer in Pattaya. He testified that Cook told him about an underwater search, not for gold, as previously assumed, but for drugs that Cook had discarded on his yacht. This testimony became instrumental in sentencing Cook and his wife to death. But the story took an unexpected twist. A year after Cook and his Thai wife were arrested and sentenced to death. In 2019, Shoebridge, the key persecutor witness, became a wanted man in Thailand, facing allegations of trafficking East African women into prostitution. As the net closed around him, Shoebridge escaped arrest in Thailand and fled the country. Given Shoebridge's newfound allegations and a warrant for his arrest in the country, defense attorneys disputed the reliability of his testimony in Cook and his wife case. After 19 months of deliberation, the Supreme Court declared Shoebridge's account untrustworthy, leading to the acquittal of Cook and his wife. In September 2021, after 19 months of consideration and following the Supreme Court's decision, Australian Luke Cook and his wife were released from imprisonment. Their ordeal had spanned several years, but they were finally free, returning home after a harrowing journey through the Thai legal system. Yet mysteries remain. The fate of Schneider's killers is unclear. Did they face justice, or did they vanish without a trace? As for Antonio Bagnato, the Australian, and Tyler Gerard, the American, Gerard served 2 years of a 3-year sentence before his release, thanks to his cooperation during the investigation. Bagnato, originally sentenced to death, was freed on appeal and extradited to Australia, where he faces charges related to another murder from 2014. The remaining 2 suspects allegedly involved in Schneider's death appeared to have fled the country and were never caught or faced trial. Thailand is a land of mesmerizing beauty, but beneath beauty is a harsh warning. Step out of line with illegal drugs, and the paradise might quickly turn into life in prison. Can you imagine losing all you have in a foreign land, or facing the harshest of penalties so far from home? Ask yourself, is any risk worth such a price? If this story captured your thoughts, there's more where that came from. Click the video on your screen for another Crime Case Chronicles story. And hey, if you watch all the way here, help us out by liking this video, giving us a thumbs up, and subscribing. Stay smart, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.